Businesses still sell products, they still run advertisements, they still compete for customers. But something about modern businesses feels completely different now. Stores feel different, apps feel different, customer service feels different, shopping feels different. Even the way companies talk to consumers has changed. And this shift is happening across almost every industry at the same time because businesses are operating in a completely different environment than they were just a few years ago. For decades, many companies focused on relatively straightforward goals: sell products, expand locations, increase market share, grow revenue steadily. Most business strategies were built around scale and efficiency, but today businesses are being pressured from every direction simultaneously. Technology is changing faster, consumers are changing faster, competition is becoming more intense, and the internet has completely reshaped how companies survive. That pressure is forcing businesses to behave differently. One of the biggest reasons businesses feel different now is because attention has become more valuable than ever. In the past, companies mostly competed over products and pricing. Now they compete heavily for visibility. Social media changed this completely. Consumers are flooded with content constantly: ads, videos, influencers, news, notifications, trends. Everything moves fast. That means businesses can no longer rely only on having good products. They must constantly stay visible, and staying visible requires constant activity. That's why companies now push endless product drops, collaborations, notifications, updates, and limited time offers. Businesses are trying to stay part of daily online conversations because in today's economy, invisible companies fall behind quickly. This is also why businesses increasingly feel more emotional and personality-driven than before. Brands now behave almost like online creators. They post memes, join trends, use internet slang, respond to viral moments instantly. Companies are trying to feel culturally relevant because modern consumers spend enormous amounts of time online, and businesses know attention often drives spending. But there's another major reason companies feel different now: growth has become harder. For years, businesses focused aggressively on expansion: open more stores, enter more markets, sell to more people. But many industries are now heavily saturated. Competition is intense almost everywhere. Finding entirely new customers is becoming more expensive, so businesses are shifting focus toward retention instead. Instead of simply finding customers, companies now want to keep customers connected continuously. That's why almost every business suddenly wants apps, memberships, subscriptions, reward systems, and accounts. Businesses want ongoing engagement because recurring customers are more valuable and more predictable, and Wall Street loves predictability. Subscription revenue, monthly memberships, loyalty programs, recurring payments. These models make businesses appear more stable to investors because future revenue becomes easier to estimate. That's why companies increasingly feel like digital platforms instead of traditional businesses. Everything is built around keeping customers inside ecosystems, and technology is making this even stronger. Artificial intelligence, data analytics, and algorithms allow businesses to track customer behavior more closely than ever before. Companies now study what people click, watch, buy, search for, and engage with constantly. That information helps businesses personalize experiences, target advertising more effectively, and predict consumer behavior. And personalization changes how businesses interact with people. Apps recommend products automatically. Streaming services suggest content constantly. Retailers personalize offers. Algorithms shape what consumers see. Businesses increasingly feel adaptive because they are being optimized continuously using data. But this shift also creates a strange feeling for consumers. Many interactions now feel engineered. Notifications are carefully timed. Apps are designed to increase engagement. Reward systems encourage repeat behavior. Everything feels optimized for retention, and people are starting to notice it. Customer service has changed too. For years, businesses often prioritized human interaction more heavily. Today, companies increasingly prioritize efficiency and automation. Chatbots replace support agents, apps replace employees, Self-checkout replaces cashiers. Automation reduces costs and speeds up operations. But it can also make businesses feel less personal. Consumers increasingly feel like they're interacting with systems instead of people, and that changes the overall experience. There's another important reason businesses feel different now: uncertainty. Modern companies operate in a far more unstable environment than many businesses faced during previous decades. Inflation, supply chain disruptions, geopolitical tensions, rapid technology shifts, changing consumer habits, economic uncertainty. All of these pressures force businesses to adapt constantly. That's why companies now appear more cautious, more reactive, and sometimes more aggressive than before. Businesses are trying to protect profits while also staying competitive in rapidly changing markets, and consumers can feel that tension. Prices change more often, policies change faster, products rotate constantly, businesses experiment more aggressively. Many companies are trying to figure out what works in real time. At the same time, consumer expectations have changed dramatically. People now expect convenience everywhere: fast delivery, instant access, personalization, mobile integration, seamless digital experiences, and businesses are under enormous pressure to meet those expectations constantly. Even companies that don't want to become highly digital often feel forced to adapt because consumers increasingly compare every experience to the convenience standards created by major tech companies. That creates industry-wide pressure, and it's why even traditional businesses now feel more technological than before. Restaurants behave like apps, retail stores behave like media brands, car companies behave like software companies, banks behave like technology platforms. Almost every industry is blending together, and the lines between technology companies and traditional businesses are becoming harder to distinguish. There's also a psychological shift happening. Modern businesses increasingly sell experiences, identity, and lifestyle rather than just products. Consumers today often buy products connected to status, culture, online identity, or personal branding. Businesses understand this very well. That's why branding feels more emotional and aggressive now. Companies are trying to create communities, not just customer bases, because emotional connection increases loyalty, and loyalty is extremely valuable in competitive markets. But all of this also creates fatigue. Consumers are overwhelmed by subscriptions, notifications, advertising, memberships, and constant engagement tactics. Every business wants attention all the time, and people are beginning to feel exhausted by it. That's one reason many consumers now feel nostalgic for simpler business experiences. But businesses continue moving in this direction because modern markets reward engagement, retention, and visibility heavily. The companies growing fastest are often the ones that control ecosystems, customer habits, and digital attention most effectively, and other businesses are trying to copy that success. That's why every business feels different now. Not because companies suddenly changed overnight, but because the entire economic environment changed around them. Technology changed consumer behavior, the internet changed competition, data changed marketing, and modern businesses are adapting to survive inside a world where attention, retention, and constant engagement have become some of the most valuable assets in the economy.